Hi, I'm Zach. Welcome to It's Dangerous to Go Alone Drink This, a podcast where I invite my friends to come and discuss our favorite games. Each episode, my guests and I challenge each other to discover or design a drink that we believe encapsulates some essence of the game. Game mechanics, personal tales, and remarkable refreshments are all fair game, so sit back, relax, and have a drink with us. Hi, and welcome to It's Dangerous to Go Alone Drink This. I'm Zach. I'm here today with Deidre and Lito, and we are going to be talking about one of our favorite board games, Betrayal at House on the Hill. Of the Hill is what I was about to say. Lito, you want to read the description of...
Welcome to Betrayal at House on the Hill. In Betrayal at House on the Hill, each player chooses a new explorer to investigate a creepy old house. As you explore the house, you discover new rooms. Each time you enter a new room, you might find something, or something might find you. Explorers change over the course of the game, for better or worse, depending on how they deal with the house's surprises. The house is different each time you build it. And at some random point during the game, one explorer triggers a scenario called a haunt. When the haunt is revealed, one explorer becomes a traitor, Zach, bent on defending his or her former companions. The rest of the explorers become heroes, struggling to survive. From then on, the game is a fight between the traitor, Zach, and the heroes, often to the death. This game has over 50 haunts, and each one tells a different story. All are yours to explore as you live or die on the house on the hill.
Nice.
Wonderful.
And so, Deidre, you got the first drink for us.
I do. So I'm not really sure how much information to tell you about this, but I will say they don't know what it is. Lito gave some inspiration for it, and then I found it in one of Zach's cocktail books, and I've never had it.
Is it
It
poison?
is not poison, but
Why'd you look away from
like,
me when you said that?
Almost like fruity might not be the right word, but...
I'm getting like Kool-Aid Man busting through a brick wall vibes.
do you guys want to do a cheers before we enter the house?
Betrayal.
We'll enter together.
I almost chugged that. That was not the play.
Oh my god.
Oh, Lottie, that hits. Woo!
Yes.
Very,
So-
dry.
Yeah, if you guys,
Almost sour.
ask any questions you have about it. I'm just gonna kind of let you guys think about the drink. Maybe think about what's in it. You can ask questions on what it is, and
Also mention, just for
Yes.
listeners here, that... Oh my god, you're just going for the whole... Whew.
so what do you think of it?
I don't remember.
Okay, yeah, you want to explain
Anyways,
what
okay,
you
yeah.
changed?
So, for this episode, we're going to do something a little different drink-wise, just specifically for Betrayal, to more fit the theme of Betrayal. So this first drink, we're all drinking the exact same drink, and in the theme of It's Dangerous to Go Alone, Deidre made a drink so that I won't know all the drinks, but I designed all the other drinks. The catch being that those are actually going to be tweaked, kind of like how in the game, like, people change over time and stuff. So we might be drinking slightly different drinks from each other as we drink the rest. But the first one, it's everyone in the game. You enter the house together. So to mimic that, we're all drinking the same drink together. We're drinking
We're drinking
together.
the same drink together.
Yeah. Okay, was it grapefruit?
No.
Oh,
Okay, I gotta
No, there
taste
was not any grapefruit in it. I will
I'm in
say
trouble.
there are 4 ingredients in this.
Okay.
Also, I did make some rules that they don't know for how some of the rest of this will go. Lito, now that you're the first one to finish a drink,
Oh, no.
grab an omen card, please.
Fudge.
Oh, okay.
Part of the cards. Swing. My grandpa has no bad cards. I got a book.
A book.
A
Okay.
diary or lab notes, ancient script or modern ravings. I
You don't have to
gain
read the rest.
Oh, okay.
Oh my gosh, I forgot.
Do we need our
Yes.
character cards? Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Grab out the character cards and the little marker things. But anyways, so while you're doing that, maybe should we explain a little bit more of what the game is?
Sure. Yes.
I thought you were gonna. Okay.
Okay.
Are you going for it?
Like how to play the game?
Yeah. Just kind of some
Ooh,
basics of
okay.
how it starts out and.
Well, for starters, this is my favorite board game ever. So putting that on the table. Uh, basically, it starts all, happy, hunky-dory. Everyone's walking around with their friends, checking out a cool, haunted, probably someone murdered here house. The usual, you do that with all your friends, right? And as you go around, you're like slowly placing new rooms that you just draw from a deck. So, of course, it's always going to be different rooms every time you play, unless you're Zach who doesn't shuffle.
Whoa.
And so you're like just creating this dungeon house as you go along, and you can give the special thing.
Yeah, so there's and we'll get into it a little later and explain like what they all do. Well, there's a few different types of cards, and there's these omen cards that I just mentioned a second ago. Those are how you actually cause the haunt. Every time you grab one, you would like roll the dice, and you have to roll like a higher amount on the dice than there are omen cards. This will be a little different, just because I made some specific rules for the way this will work, but it kind of have the same idea of the game. And then and so those are mostly bad. They can help you, but overall, like the more omens you get, the worse it will be for the group as a whole. Or well, maybe that's not the best way to put it. There's a better chance that you will start the haunt, and that somebody will betray.
Yeah, if you hate your friends, it's a good thing.
Okay, so now, Deidre, you grab those out.
Yep.
The thing that I forgot to do that we should have done right before, grab the characters you want to be. I'm going to be my favorite, Ox Bellows. Thank you for pointing that out. And could you hand me 4 of the things? And so we're actually going to track our stats during this. So to explain that briefly, and also this is not going to be like a fully comprehensive guide on how to play. It'll just be little bits on maybe kind of keying you in a little bit on how it works, as well as if you already know, it'll probably make a lot more sense. But so you start with some base stats on the character sheets. There's a bunch of different lines of numbers. There's green ones that are highlighted, at least in this edition. I have the 2nd edition. I don't know I know there's a 3rd edition out. I don't know if they've changed that. But you have a speed stat, a might stat, a sanity stat, and a knowledge stat. The speed and might go together as your physical stats, and the sanity and knowledge go together as your mental stats. Every character has different like growth or decay to their stats. So for instance, my guy can get really slow really fast, and he doesn't really get that much quicker, but his might starts off really good and he gets way stronger way faster. But then also on the flip side, his knowledge and his sanity aren't like that great either. So from previous games I've played, I just kind of started playing as Ox Bellows all the time. But who did you 2 pick here?
Side note, they've played a ton. I've only played, I think, 3 times. So I've had a few different experiences. So I think I've picked someone different every time. So today I picked Heather Granville, and most of her stuff's like pretty even across the board. Just looks like her sanity does not go nearly as high as everything else.
And I played this game quite a few times, and I am a small Asian child main, Peter Akamoto, look him up. He starts, honestly, like average across the board, but he has the highest potential everywhere. Like all the kids, there's like 2 kids, you just flip it around, woo! And he's Asian, like me, so, represent.
Also, I should mention, so there's 5 different, 6? 5. 5, or no, 6. It is 6. It is 6, sorry. There's 6 different characters you can play as, and each one has 2 different sides. So there's technically 12, but each one, you can only be one of the 2 at a time. So for instance, what is it? What's the back of yours? Brandon something?
Oh, Brandon Jaspers.
Brandon Jaspers. There you go. I was like waiting for.
I was like, I thought you were looking at it. Just read it. Come on.
Yeah. So, or like mine is Ox Bellows, who's really, really like strong, or Darren Flash Williams, who's really, really fast. they're more the physical characters. And then I believe yours is
I think
more
this is Jenny
sanity, right?
Leclerc, and no, her sanity is also low.
Oh,
So apparently both of these
are
it's
they just like the average all around
I
kind
think
of
they're
character?
pretty average all around.
Okay.
I feel like most people start kind of average.
Yeah, but like
Yeah,
how high hers goes maybe.
on the
I'm
sanity,
not sure.
it will hit 6, and it stays at 6 for the last
6.
3
Ooh,
ticks.
Dun, dun, dun.
She cray cray.
And this one stays at 4 for most of the ticks.
Okay.
And only gets to the highest of 6.
Alright.
Whereas
Also-
yours can get to 7, and I see some of these can get higher, but I know that's a
So-
weakness for other people too.
I will mention too on them if you drop a stat to the very very bottom, typically in the game you die. For our purposes, I'm gonna say if you hit a bottom stat, just take 1 damage to the next like the accompanying
Okay.
stat. So like if your knowledge goes all the way down, take 1 to like your sanity. So it's all in the mental, and same on the other side.
Gotcha.
Whew.
Okay, so it's
Yeah.
not
'Cause we
we
can't actually die.
Be triggered.
Oh, that really
Have you ever
should have been
seen
a thing. I
Yu-Gi-Oh?
should have
You
made
should
that a
have
thing.
you should have triggered that
Okay,
with like
next
taking
time.
a shot or something.
I mean, we could throw that in if you really
Nope.
want.
Gosh.
Okay.
Not Yu-Gi-Oh rules,
All right, I was
please.
gonna say judgment call if you really want. Okay, so I think we kind of set all the ground rules for both how this is gonna go and just kind of how the game is played a little bit.
Yeah.
Should we get back more into the drink?
Yes, I
I've
was gonna
been
say, yeah. Have you
tasting
guys been
it a few
thinking about
times.
it? Lito,
yeah,
do you
so
remember
much
what it
thought.
tastes like?
Oh, there's a little taste.
I will say I did see a couple of the ingredients just because I had to
Yep.
help you grab it from the high
Yes,
shelf.
and
But weirdly enough, like it doesn't taste to me as much like the 2 that I saw.
okay.
Oh, I remembered a third one. And okay, actually,
Oh.
you said there's 4 things. I know what the 4 are.
Lito, do you know
Yeah, so
any
I
of the
shouldn't-
ingredients besides
I
the
saw a lemon.
you
but
are
flavor.
wrong.
It was a lime.
It was a lime.
Okay. Maybe I drank that too fast.
Yes.
Is there no, there's not tequila.
Do you want me to throw out the booze? Because I'm actually a little bit surprised that you picked this because I didn't think you would like it.
Yep.
And I know from other drinks we've had that you don't like it that much either. This is a gin drink.
I like gin.
Oh, I thought you didn't like gin.
I don't like gin and tonic. but
That's
gin
what
with,
it was.
like
Okay,
fruit
okay,
juice.
okay.
I like that.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking. Sorry.
I've had some like pretty meh gin and tonics. Like I'm just not a fan of them. But
Yeah.
I've had some other ones that like when you have like the more like fruity or like floral flavors with a gin and tonic, that's what I enjoy. I don't like that like when you can taste the pineness of the gin.
That's fair. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gin definitely cuts through a lot. Like you have to be very careful with how you mix gin or like what you mix it with. Because I've found that it's a very strong flavor. And you need something very like, I don't know, either very bitter or very like, I don't know if sweet's the right, but pungent might be a good one. You need something very strong to kind of
Counteract
pair
it.
with it, but also it can't be just strong. It has to be strong in the right way, like Pearl. But yeah, okay. So do you want to tell us what's in it?
Yeah. So, like I said, 4 ingredients. So, gin is the like main alcohol, and then there is chartreuse, right? That's what it's called. Yeah.
Wait, you made it. What do you mean?
I did. I
That's
was
the
going
liqueur,
along
yeah.
with
Okay.
the pronunciation in my head, and then it called for this like pretty high end maraschino liqueur, but it was a little expensive. So I was looking up different alternatives for it, and it just called for like other cherry liqueurs, and we have Dr. Cherry. So that's what I put in this.
Dr. McGillicuddy's.
Dr. McGillicuddy's cherry.
What is it?
I think it's just cherry liqueur.
Cherry liqueur. Okay, I can't
Yeah.
remember the whole. Yeah.
And so I'm curious how if you made it with the higher end,
If it would
how
be,
different it would
sure.
taste. Because I think that Dr. Cherry itself is pretty sweet. And so I think this adds a little bit of sweetness with which I enjoy. Like I'm more of like a sweet drink person. And then the last ingredient is lime juice. And I will tell you, this doesn't relate to like how the game relates to the drink at all, but it is all equal parts.
Oh.
It's 3/4 of an ounce of all 4. which I found like a little interesting.
Okay.
'Cause I was nervous that it was going to be a little strong, but it was. But it was, but I
Yeah, it's a little strong, but like not in like a terrible way.
Yeah.
yeah.
Also, I realized we didn't describe what it actually looked like. I know we described the flavor a little bit, but
no, for listeners
it's-
only.
Mine looks pretty transparent. I don't know, I can't really see anything.
that's because it's gone.
Oh, that's the twin.
But it's sort of like a pinkish res, like kind of like a rose
Yeah.
hue.
So I think that the liqueur that it calls for is clear. So I think that this would have more of like a greenish yellowish tint because of the lime juice and the chartreuse.
Okay.
Sure.
So
One that would have fit with the game's color
and it
scheme.
would have fit a little bit, yeah.
The
But
box is
Also-
like green and spooky if you didn't see or hear.
So flavor wise, I don't know. I'm assuming maybe the name is kind of close to like relates a bit
the
to.
name is definitely.
But flavor wise, it kind of works pretty well, I think, because it's sort of like it's strong, but sort of refreshing. You know, so it's sort of like you're going into like this creepy place, and so we're going in for the first time. Yeah, it's like scary, so like you might want like a hard like drink real quick, just so you can liquid courage get in.
calm some nerves.
But also, it's not like you're taking like a shot or something. You're like, okay, I need a hard drink, but like I want something that's tasty so that I can be nice and like comforted. Like it's a pretty like like it makes you feel energized and ready to go explore this
Okay.
creepy ass mansion.
Yeah.
If you want to nerd out, it kind of looks like a health potion. With that
Ooh.
description. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
kind of a tiny bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
definitely looks like something you would grab for to maybe max your knowledge.
Hey, I got a book for that.
I finished mine. I'm gonna grab an
Oh,
omen.
yeah. Going back to this, does he have to do anything with
No,
that?
so sorry, I didn't explain it. For the omens, just here I'll show you with mine. So I'll just say I got the ring, and just read the little flavor text at the top. So a battered ring with an incomprehensible inscription. For these purposes, we're not going to worry about like the in-game mechanics and whatnot.
That's for the listener to find out when they play.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't know what is the name of this drink?
Okay, so I will go back a little bit. When we were talking about how to do this game and like the drinks of it, and Zach brought up this like game idea about whatever he's gonna do for it. He wanted one of us to come up with a drink, and so I said, "Oh, maybe we could come up with a drink to bring together." And then Lito suggested an old fashioned, but Zach was listening at the time, so I was like,
Yeah,
"Oh,
heard
I
when-
don't
yeah.
want to do just an old fashioned because you just said it, and it's not going to be any sort of like surprise or like
Okay.
kind of like
I will say I
guessing
think that would have been
element.
really good if I didn't know. Like I mean, like even knowing it
yeah.
is still pretty good, but like not knowing if you were like, oh yeah, old fashioned, I would have been like, oh, that's so cool because like it makes sense with like old creepy house and like, yeah.
Yeah, and like I mean, it's most likely a mansion if you can build it up to that.
Yeah, the
Like-
game says house, but it's basically a mansion.
Basically, a mansion. If you get to add in enough rooms.
What kind of house has a foyer that's not a mansion?
True. Or a panic room.
A panic room. Or what was it? They have a whole church, don't they? A
They do,
chapel?
they have a chapel.
Yeah.
They have
Yeah.
a chapel, and then there's a greenhouse, and
Yeah, there's a lot.
yeah.
But anyways,
okay.
so
So,
back to-
anyways, going back to the drinks. So the old fashioned gave me some inspiration. So I looked through some cocktail books, and I'm blanking on what section of this book it was because your cocktail book has like 6 like main drinks, and then how other drinks build off of those to like. So like an old fashioned.
Death and Co. for anyone curious.
An old fashioned, you like tweak this part of it and it becomes this drink, or you tweak this part of it and it becomes this drink. So I think that what the section was like, it was called like I don't think it was like a
Was it Sidecar?
yeah.
Yeah, so okay, so this is getting maybe a little into the weeds on like the book and stuff. But so basically in the book they put forth that there are only 6 cocktails ever. Like, and any other cocktail is in the family of one of those 6. And so there is like they name the first one old fashioned. And so stuff like a Manhattan is literally just like an old fashioned that's been tweaked and like some more ingredients added to it and stuff. And they separate them by different drinks. Kind of, it's sort of off of how you make the base of the drink. So like what the main spirit of the drink is, and then what like the balance and the sweetener and like other ingredients are that you're throwing in. So the sidecar, I was actually just looking at that the other day to try to find inspiration for one of the drinks that you'll see later. It They were talking about how that is a very, very liqueur heavy drink. So lots of drinks that are like super, super reliant on the liqueurs and lay into that a lot, those are going to be in the sidecar family of drinks, at least according to Death & Co. And honestly, I 100% see, like, I think it's a really cool way to separate them out. But then you can compare that to, like, they also have daiquiri as a drink. Sorry, now I'm debating if it was... No, it was... Yeah, daiquiri. I was thinking martini, but martini was in the daiquiri family, I believe. If I got to refresh myself on the book. But anyways, the main difference is they were comparing them and saying that they're very, very similar, but that sidecars are just much more liqueur heavy, where the others, like, they might have a liqueur in it, but it's not the main focus. It's more for, like, a little bit of sweetener or a little bit of balance or something. And it's not the main attraction, where in the sidecar families, they're usually liqueur heavy. And that, you like you said, there was the 4 different ingredients, all equal parts, 2 of which were liqueurs.
Yes.
So it kind of makes sense.
And so basically, when I read this, like the name of the drink and the description, I was like, this sounds like something a rich person would drink. And so you gave me the inspiration with like the old fashioned and like the old house that was probably a mansion owned by rich people. And so I got just a little inspiration. So the name of this is called Last Word.
Ooh.
It is poison. I freaking knew it.
I was like,
She's been the betrayer the whole time.
How did we not see
basically,
that?
my idea was we're all starting together, and it's like last words before we kind of split off. Maybe
really
one
like
of us
that.
is gonna betray the other people, and
Okay.
yeah.
I think we should kill her first.
I like that idea.
Okay.
But what if it's
Well, no, he doesn't know that I'm the betrayer yet. Hold on.
I know.
We're
I'm
going to
aware.
work together and kill you,
Yeah.
and then I will betray him and kill him.
See,
and
I'm
then I will
fully aware.
inherit the
then
whole
you just win.
mansion, or burn it down, or summon the demon, or whatever.
Yeah. See, I
Alright.
just hate Deidre and also want to die, so it's a
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Okay, that's
It's
fine.
fine. It's fine.
Quick
All right.
little-
So, typical. I'm the last one to finish my drink, so I grab my omen. This is the skull. A skull, cracked and missing teeth.
Interesting.
Is that a sign from the universe? Who knows?
Apparently, you guys are gonna kill me, so maybe you're gonna crack my skull.
Maybe? I thought I made it pretty clear.
You will be. Yeah,
Now,
that's fine.
before we get into the drinks that can actually damage us in any ways, who would like to grab the first event?
Okay.
Okay, so we are using the event cards, which we
God.
can explain a little bit more in the future here. But I kind of tweak them with some stuff. So just read same as these. Read the top thing,
read
and then
the top?
and then the
Like,
flavor text.
Basically, what you've covered.
Exactly the same
Okay.
as the omen. But then I wrote some stuff in my notebook here, so I will read to you my
I'm so
addition.
nervous.
I put some post-its across stuff. That's why you saw the post-it before.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay.
every single one of these has a post-it on it. But yeah, go ahead.
I'm nervous. Okay. It is meant to be. You collapse to the floor. Visions of future events pouring through your head. 0.
0, which I mean, I knew that one was. Predict. Everyone guess who will be the luckiest and the unluckiest. So each of us is going to make a prediction for the rest of the drinks. Who is going to have like the most bad drinks? Who's going to have the most good drinks? And same with like cards or whatever, who's just going to overall be the luckiest versus the unluckiest?
Okay. I think I'm gonna be the unluckiest. I'm just gonna say it.
No, I'm Dirty Dan. I'm going to be the unluckiest.
I think Lito's going to be the unluckiest.
Okay.
If life has taught me anything.
Who do you think will be the luckiest?
For some reason, I think I want to say Lido, but it's probably gonna be you.
I mean, it's not like someone made this whole
I was
idea
gonna say it's the
concept
person
up.
that made the game
Okay,
gonna screw
yeah.
himself
For a
over.
little bit of like context, so I do know how the mechanics like work, but I tried to design it in a way that I can get equally fucked over.
Okay.
So I shouldn't. I mean, and obviously I'm not. I didn't. Not a
Lido's-
true like game designer or anything.
Lido's
but
prepping
like,
for battle.
as far as I know, I should have an equal chance to also get fucked over.
Okay.
I mean, you just
That's-
have to ask.
Oh God.
Okay, that's good to know that it's not like we're on an even. I mean, that's kind of how the game starts. We all start out on an even playing field, and then
So
things will change.
okay, so you're saying you're gonna be the unluckiest, and
Yep.
who are you going with for
I'm
luckiest?
going with you for the luckiest.
Going with me.
Still.
I think Deidre's going to be the luckiest.
She's gonna be luckiest, and
Yeah.
you're saying you're the
Oh.
most unlucky. I think Lito's gonna be the most unlucky, and I think Deidre will be
So
the
both
luckiest.
of you are saying the same thing.
So we are
Yeah.
saying, yeah. So if one of us is right, we'll both be right. There's a possibility
Okay.
that could affect
Okay.
something, but
Okay.
yeah.
All right, we're already starting to betray her.
So now, I'm going to make the second drink, but we've been exploring the house for a little bit, right?
Okay.
Yeah, I can still see straight. You're right.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
a nice house. Mhm.
But it's just the beginning. We've just uncovered a few rooms. And as you delve deeper into the rooms, you notice a darkness fall about the house. Looking outside the windows, you see that a storm is brewing. Roll 2 dice.
Oh God.
So
okay.
everyone's going to
So-
roll, and this will affect how the next drink will come out for you specifically.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. So yeah, I partially know like what's kind of gonna happen with this, but I don't know.
You don't know the full extent.
exactly what
Yes.
he did with it. I just
So-
help him kind of come up with the idea. So I'm sorry.
So it's all your fault.
It's no. 2.
Okay.
You got a 2? I'll keep that in mind. I'll have
I'll
everyone
just,
roll
I'll just
before
kinda,
I
like, keep my
yeah.
fingers. Yeah.
Lito, go ahead.
Universe, smile upon me today. Peter Akamoto with
You got
the
a 1.
1.
I got a 0.
You got a 0.
So, Deidre, you brave the storm, outrunning it to the next rooms. Give yourself +1 speed.
Okay.
Lito and I, unfortunately, are in the middle of the storm, and the storm begins to worsen. Each of us loses 1 speed. We were not
Dang
fast
it.
enough.
No.
And
Well, I'm Deidre. I'm going to be the unluckiest team.
and we each take 1 die of mental damage.
Oh.
So,
Okay.
real quick, just for listeners, anyone that doesn't know the game, these die, they're normal 6-sided die. Well, not normal. They are 6-sided die, but there's 2 sides that have nothing on it. So 2 zeros, 2 1s, and 2 2s. So the worst that we can get is 2 damage. But if we're lucky, we get nothing.
I mean, 2's a lot.
It is.
Yeah.
But that's
It's a
why
lot for
it's
you guys.
random. We don't know, it
I'm
could
just
be...
a small little boy. Can't I have less damage, please? Boom! Peter Akamoto.
He got a 0. I got a 0.
got a
Nice.
0.
Okay. So we each
Who's
just
lucky
take
now?
we each just take the
the
1
people who
speed.
didn't have to roll for taking damage, maybe.
All right. And now I'm going to go make the next drink and we'll reconvene in a moment.
Do, 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 do.
Okay. And we're back. So, all of us have drinks in front of us. 2 of us have a little bit different than the other.
Yeah.
Maybe, Deidre, you want to explain yours and then we can explain
Yeah.
what ours looks like?
So mine it has like a kind of ambery tint to it, but it is clear all the way. Like mostly clear through it. Like it's not cloudy or opaque or anything, but it kind of looks like apple juice.
Okay.
Like maybe
Okay.
a little bit lighter than that, or like I guess like cream soda. I don't know.
Okay.
Lito, how would you explain ours?
Well, ours, like Deidre, is ambery. Except I'm pretty sure if I stuck my finger in here, I could grab a mosquito and revive some dinosaurs.
Yeah, yours
It's
is
a
definitely
very thick one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you definitely can't see through it like mine.
No.
And
Yeah.
it has a little foam at the top.
There is
Yeah,
a
it's
little
like
bit
a
of foam
beer.
at the top. Yeah,
And
maybe.
it does
Oh,
look
okay.
kind of like a beer.
Well, in a
Yeah, mine looks
sense.
almost like
You'll
a
see.
mine
Oh,
looks
gosh.
like an apple cider sour kind of thing,
Hmm.
like an Angry Orchards. But
So, should we all taste?
all right, here we
cheers.
go.
Well, yeah, we might not cheers as much anymore after this.
Oh, that's a beer. That's a beer, all right.
Oh yeah, you're not the biggest fan of beer.
Beer sense is tingling.
Is it just a beer? 'Cause,
There's got to be some other stuff in this.
so. Oh, go ahead.
no, I was
No,
gonna
you go
say-
ahead. You go ahead.
Okay, I was gonna say mine. It almost kind of smells like. I don't want to say like apple pie, but it has like some sort of like. For some reason, I'm getting like some like spicy, like cinnamon spice, nutmeggy type sense from it and like flavor.
Interesting.
I'm really bad at detecting flavors and stuff, so that could not be it either.
Okay. I get like a stouty vibe, like oh, what's the big Irish one that's black?
Oh,
Guinness?
Guinness?
Guinness. Yeah, it's got like a hint of Guinness in there somewhere,
Okay.
but a little fruity too.
I see that. I see that. I don't want to tell you guys too much about it yet. I'll let you
Okay.
kind of think about it a little more.
Oh wait,
I will say. Oh, what?
I was gonna say one more thing. I realized what I'm like smelling / tasting. It reminds me of working at Michael's during like the holiday season when there's like cinnamon sticks all around the store and like the cinnamon pine cones.
Okay.
So I'm getting
man.
like do you know kind
God
of that
dang! Now
smell?
that you say that, that's all I can.
That's
smell.
kind of that's what I'm getting. It's a lot of like that like seasonal holiday smell,
Okay.
like
Pumpkin
pine-
spice.
It's not pumpkin though. It's
Oh.
after Halloween, the Thanksgiving, Christmas
Okay.
stuff.
Like fall time.
I should
Yeah.
also mention more for people listening if they want to have a better visual and maybe like a hint to kind of guess as what this is. These are all in pint glasses.
Is that important to the drink
Not
or?
fully, but I mean, like a lot of drinks have very like classic drinks that they're supposed to be in, like a martini's in a martini glass, right? Or like margarita in a margarita. But there's like certain drinks that use certain cups and stuff. And so this doesn't, I guess not, no drink necessarily has to be in anything.
Yeah.
But I think knowing that this is in a pint drink or in a pint glass along with our descriptions and stuff for both of our drinks or both versions of the drink, it just kind of helps to understand it a little bit more.
By calculating the surface area of my glass, I can cross-reference and recalculate the exact weight that was made from this.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so now, Deidre, you grabbed the first event card.
I did.
Lito, would you like to grab next, or you want me to?
No.
Oh, we're
Okay.
already doing an event.
We're just gonna. So, oh yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
real quick, I should explain. So now for the rest of the events, a lot of these will be kind of like conversation starters. So I thought it would be a way before the podcast, a little behind the scenes for anyone curious. Before the podcast, we spoke a little bit about a few things we wanted to talk about with the game, and I took those for inspiration and developed some questions or statements or whatever, and that's what's going to be in this notebook. And I turned them into the events. So I was thinking we could go until we go through all the events. If we really don't want to, we don't have to. There are 25 altogether, including the 0.
Okay.
But yeah, so go ahead.
Ooh, okay. So I got footsteps. The floorboards slowly creak. Dust rises. Footprints appear on the dirty floor. And then, as they reach you, they are gone. 3.
3.
Yeah.
Okay, let me find it in my handy dandy
I was
notebook.
gonna say your little notebook reminds me a lot of the handbook of
Oh, it kind of does.
like because you have to turn through to like find the different haunts and different events.
I was
and
actually thinking about that when I made it to kind of, it inspired
go
me a
off
bit.
of that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or there's a second book that comes with this game called The Traitor's Tomb. That's only one person is allowed to read.
Lito scooted away closer to Deidre, away from me.
I thought you were against me.
Well, I still want you dead, but, safety first.
Okay.
3.
3.
Do you have any character preference? Also,
Peter Akamoto.
+1 to mental.
Boom,
Oh, nice.
let's go. I'm a genius.
And mental is sanity or knowledge. You can pick which one. So Peter Akamoto, and yeah, you and I already kind of mentioned mine's Ox Bellows. But
What I was gonna say, you've said the reason to me before, but what is the reason why?
Okay. So the reason goes back to college and also SNL.
As all things do.
My college roommate Jordan, who will be in some future episode, so eventually you'll meet him. But him and I played this game a lot, sophomore year and sophomore year specifically, and that was when we were living in like a group of 4 people, and so we played just with basically just our roommates and like significant others and whatnot, and at the time of playing, we were watching a lot of random like SNL like episodes or clips or whatever. And there's this one where it's oh crap, oh my god. Seth MacFarlane. He's hosting and he does this like puppet class. And so, because obviously he's good with voices and stuff, so he's like, it's this class for like people who have never done puppetry. And he's like, yeah, everyone like make a puppet, and like you can make a puppet like talk like this, and and he's doing different voices and stuff. And then Bill Hader plays this guy. He has like this big giant like mullet, and he has like these dark giant like aviator sunglasses, and then he's wearing like all camo.
Okay.
And he talks like this, and his puppet was a Vietnam War veteran, and he talks about Granada. And he keeps talking about that. And so we had just watched that. And at the time, we were playing this game a ton. And I was just trying out like different characters and stuff. Jordan's favorite character is Father Reinhardt. So there's a priest on one side and a professor on the other.
Professor.
He would go back and forth between the two until he realized that, okay, this is such a bullshit reason.
Okay.
The reason he preferred Father Reinhardt to Professor, is it Longfellow?
Yes. Is it
Why do I remember that?
I don't know, but is it because that Father Reinhardt is older?
No, it's kind of.
They're both
it's
bald. How do you
because on every single
says their
card,
age.
every character has some like stats about them. Yeah, so it's age, height, weight, some of their hobbies, and their birthday. The birthday is significant because in the rule book it says that the person that starts the game is whose birthday is closer, or whose character's birthday is closer chronologically to today's date when you're playing. And of all the characters at the time of us playing, Father Reinhardt always went first because it was during like the fall or spring or whatever.
Because his birthday is April 29th.
That's it.
Wait, so you guys only played during April or spring?
No, we played like in the spring semester. So anytime, I mean, we played a little before, but by the time that he had decided him as his favorite, it was around then. What?
I was gonna ask, were you like playing Ox Bellows like basically that whole time, or were you still switching between?
So I was switching for a while,
okay.
And Jordan had settled on Father Reinhardt because of that reason, so that he would always start first. But then the rest of us were all like playing, and a lot of people like had like characters they kind of like leaned into or whatever, ones they liked more. And I was trying to find one or whatever. And then one time I was playing Ox Bellows, and for whatever reason, that SNL clip was in my head. So the whole time I played, I just said I was Ox Bellows, and I talked like this the whole time.
Okay.
And I just like Ox Bellows. But I just kept doing it like the whole time we played, and then from then on it was just like a meme. So I just kept going back to Ox Bellows.
Okay.
But then on top of that, he has the best strength in the game, or might, and that comes in handy a lot. Like I mean, obviously any stat is really good, but like having played him so many times, like there's so many opportunities that I've had like where you're like up against a traitor or something, and you're just like, oh, I'll just stab him and get out. Like, like I'll just fight him. Like because beforehand playing, I was like, oh shit, I gotta run away. Oh no, a monster's coming. I gotta run. And then finally I was like, oh, this guy can just beat shit down.
Okay.
So like I just kind of fell in love with him after memeing with him.
See, some of us, small Asian boys included, have to be a little crafty with how we handle things.
Sure.
That makes sense. Okay. Is that the only
Is
reason
that why you're-
you pick Peter Akimoto?
Oh no, just Asian representation. That's it.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
it.
Is
Okay.
he actually? I don't remember. Is he the only Asian character, at least in the base game?
Looking
These
around.
are all.
I
little
believe so, but I
girls.
don't know for sure.
Ooh, something to note about this game. Always be wary of little girls. And in life
Oh.
too. But, you know.
And in life, okay. I don't know
also-
what you've been through.
For
ringer.
my version here, also maybe be aware of little girls.
Oh.
It's for anyone that is not familiar. There's an omen called Girl, and it's a companion. We might find it. We might find it.
No! What have you done?
Don't worry about it.
You brought up the quote.
Dina, did you have any
I
favorite
warned
characters?
us.
So I don't think I have a favorite character. I think I've tried actually both of these girls, Heather Granville and Jenny Leclerc, but I think I've also done the people on the blue one, but I don't know the Madame Zostra.
I really
and
like her.
Vivian Lopez.
Vivian Lopez, what a name.
Yeah, I don't know.
I really like Madame Zostra because Jordan and I kept calling her Voodoo Mama Juju from
The Office?
The Office.
Yeah. Okay, see, and when I was looking, I noticed that both her knowledge and might, they only max at 6.
Ooh.
Right,
I
but
was
look
like-
at the sanity.
The sanity gets to 8 for
That's
the
their-
top 2 are 8.
Both
So that
sides is
makes
that they're
sense.
very strong sanity, right?
Oh, okay. Vivian Lopez seems way better.
Yeah, well, and the other thing with these characters,
think-
I
but
haven't
that's why I
looked
didn't
to
choose her on this
confirm,
one.
but I believe there are some that are just objectively worse. But you could
probably
play
the
as that to
girls-
make the game harder. If you're like, oh, this is too easy, or you know,
Yeah.
it's a
no.
nice way to
The-
kind of switch things up.
The little girls on this. Oh gosh.
Isn't her speed pretty good though?
So there's.
I thought that both children's
of
speed
both
was
of
good.
them, Missy. I don't speak French.
Du board.
The bird,
Okay.
the bird.
Okay,
Her
Gru.
her speed, might, and sanity max out at 7, and her knowledge maxes out at 6.
But the absolute max is 8, so 7's not bad.
No, but it's still not the highest you could get.
Right.
That's
And
why
then-
you cheat.
Wait, but the other
And-
thing. Sorry, I was gonna say sometimes it might not be the absolute max number. It could be the consistency, like how you have that one where it goes 6 and 6 and 6.
Yeah. Her Missy, her knowledge is the top, like the last 3 ticks are all
Just say
6.
it. You're a monster. 666.
Right,
The
which-
beast.
So
It sounds stupid,
it's
like, going-
consistent.
Like it might sound stupid, like if you're adding to it, but think about it from the other way around. Say you're
You
all
need
the
to-
way maxed out and you take
need to
damage. You're like,
take
oh,
away.
I can take 2 damage here and I still have 6 knowledge, right? So like
True.
there are benefits to that kind of stuff, but some of it gets a little niche.
Okay, but when you flip it over, Zoe Ingstorm, her speed maxes out at 8, and that's the last 2 ticks.
Oh shoot, she's 8.
Damn, girl.
Wow.
Her speed
She's
is-
zooming.
Which
Her
mine,
and Flash both have 8.
Heather also has 8 as like the max, but she has it for the last 2 ticks. So I think that might be the
Brandon
highest.
also goes to 8.
I don't go to 8
Yeah,
on speed,
Father
though.
Reinhardt, nope,
I
7.
don't go to 8 on speed.
No, but Brandon does on the back.
Vivian,
Well, screw him. He's white.
Vivian goes to 8. Oh, Professor Longfellow only goes to 6 on
But
speed.
Professor
but-
Longfellow's strength is in the knowledge.
True. And so where Zoe's speed is super high, her knowledge only goes to 5.
Sure.
So I think, yeah,
She's
watch out
stupid.
for the little girls. But I mean, I guess, yeah, I think
So
it's.
you're in like the exploring character
I'm
stage.
still trying, and also because both of you, I've played with you
At least
every
twice.
time.
Yeah,
There was
actually, you're right. Yeah.
So it was the 3 of us, and then we played with Soul, and then we played with
Soul is the one who made the intro music. So
shout out. I think I've played another time, but I don't remember when or why or
How much
where.
were you drinking? Or was there a little girl involved?
No. I just actually maybe I've only played it twice.
What are you doing on this podcast?
I'm just here.
I think I might have played it with my family once.
No.
No?
Huh.
No, we didn't bring this to your.
Okay. Maybe not.
No.
I
do remember because I think the first time I played it was when you brought your edition and you had just gotten your like fancy new little card.
Get cool
ticker
little wheel things. I'm like
Yeah.
Aang with his little rocks and the avatar.
Yeah, no, I like your way of like the cards because
Those are really cool, yeah.
And the art style of the people I noticed was just
Well,
a
little
little bit
different.
different, and I really like that art style because I look at some of these people and I'm like the shadowing of their faces just a little interesting. They look a little I guess like fake.
Think
Sure.
like
That's
black
just
and
me.
white movie-esque art.
Also,
kinda.
so
Yeah.
this
Noir.
is the second edition, and I know there's a third edition out currently. I don't know if that's like towards the end, like if they're gonna do a fourth
they've
or
done
whatever.
another one.
But yeah, so this was also looking at the big picture. This is like a stepping stone. You know, they're like, oh, we can make improvements and add some stuff.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. But anyways, yeah. So going back to who I've been picking, yeah, it's just I'm just kind of trying out different people. I know that obviously who you choose is off limits because both of you always choose the same people.
I will say
And
I'm okay if you want to try mine.
Okay.
I just normally go to them. I knowing that you haven't played as much, I try like I want to keep it open. But like if I'm playing with people who play all the time, then it's like okay, they've had a chance to play other people. I'll play my person. But like if I know that somebody like might want to try something out, I'm okay playing the other characters because like this is just my favorite. That doesn't mean I have to always play him.
Okay,
If
that makes sense.
So I
What?
think I'm the opposite. Where my first game, I played Peter Akamoto, and I've never played a game that is Peter Akamoto. Well, except for the Legacy version, but that's a different conversation.
Okay, so next time we play, I'm playing as Peter just so that you can't play as Peter.
You want to get shanked?
Oh
That's
shit!
how you get shanked.
Well,
Okay,
if
fine.
you
I'll play
if
as
you
Brandon
can,
Jasper.
Okay. Let's go. I'm down in this.
All right.
Okay, you might get the girl. But anyway, yeah, no. So I do want to try all the other people just to kind of like get a view of like what their strengths are.
You
and-
coming after my little boy?
No,
my little
not yet.
Asian boy. You come
Not
for
yet.
you take my little Asian boy
gets,
from me.
He gets him first, and then I'll get the leftovers
All right.
after.
I'm gonna draw the next event card. Wait, I just heard that.
My poor little boy, that Peter Akamoto.
Sounds like we're gonna like tear him apart. Like this does not
not.
You
sound.
guys are cannibals.
Jesus, well,
I'm
No,
in
no, no,
danger.
no. I'm not gonna use.
Don't you
I'm
touch my
gonna
little boy. Get out of
I'm
here.
using Brandon, not him.
already. Yeah,
That hurts me more.
okay, I drew an event card. Jonah's turn.
Jonas Brothers?
Jonah's turn.
Oh.
Okay.
Two boys are playing with a wooden top. Would you like a turn, Jonah? One asks. No, says Jonah. I want all the turns. Jonah takes the top and hits the other boy in the face.
Oh, shit.
The boy falls. Jonah keeps hitting him in the face as they fade from view.
What?
13 is the number.
Do you think that Peter Akamoto was?
You keep your hands away from my little boy. I don't trust no one around him anymore.
So keep that little story in mind.
Okay.
The question here is, do you prefer being the traitor? -1 speed, so that's unfortunate for me.
to you. Okay, so I think because I've only played apparently twice from what we can remember, I remember the first time you were the traitor. And,
Who's you for people that...
you as Leto.
Not me betraying my good old friends.
And so
Never.
I remember once the traitor came up, I was like, I don't know what's happening. Zach, you need to walk me through this whole situation. And so
And Oxbellows shanked a bitch with a spear.
That's
and
me.
then-
I'm bitch.
and so because once the haunt comes up, the traitor goes into like a separate room and they get their own book and you read through what to do, and then everyone else like I guess like schemes and plans out what they're going to do. And then so you had walked away. We had this whole deep plan of what we're gonna do, and we're like, okay, if this happens, we do this. But if this happens, we do this. And so I was like, okay, this seems pretty easy. And then the second time, that was a little different because it was the house was the haunt.
Everyone together against the
And
house.
we were all together.
Yes.
So I think that for me, that was a little bit different because I've never been like a traitor. I've only been
Sure,
against the haunt.
that's fair.
So like I don't know what it's like to be the traitor.
Okay, so maybe tweaking the question just for you specifically. would you like to be the traitor, or did you prefer
God.
like if you could choose the next time you play, if you were able to decide like yes, I'm the traitor, or like no, I want to be on the team,
Okay.
which would you pick? Would you want that new experience?
Well, so I'm thinking of other games where, like, Among Us or Secret Hitler or something, where like you're like the person that's like doing the weird like behind the scenes like scheming stuff. I always get so nervous during that, and so like up front, no, I wouldn't want to be the haunt or like be the traitor that has like that happen to me, but. I don't know. It'd be interesting to see how it would happen.
Okay.
I don't want to be forced to be
No,
the
that's fair. It's more
traitor.
just if you had to choose.
Leto.
Why are you looking at me?
I don't know. I feel like you had. Well, no, you're just gonna kill me. Never
Yeah.
mind.
Whether or not you're the traitor,
You're
you're,
gonna
dead.
sacrifice me. Probably. Yeah, it's fine.
All right, so Leto, do you prefer being the traitor or
I gotta
being on the
admit,
hero team?
Being the traitor is so much more fun because there's usually like a new avenue or like powers you get or something.
Sure.
Like you control monsters or you are the monster.
Sure.
I'm just really bad at it. I think I have a below 30% win rate as traitor. It's not good. Like, so I was traitor with Deidre's first game. And I didn't really get a lot of power or anything.
Yeah,
so
you
I
got
tried,
a little unlucky there.
Yeah, I tried working with what I got. So she's sitting down here and I'm setting up and I just take out a bunch of tokens and dump them on the table and look at her, trying to like intimidate her, get in her head. And she was just on her phone, so it did nothing. And
But also, so we had, so we can, yeah,
Yep.
in
I'll
a
just
second.
hold on to it. I just
So
could see
we
that he
had
was finishing.
the trader gets like their trader booklet and they read through like what they do for the hunt, and then the heroes read through one collectively together. So we had like kind of an idea of what was supposed to happen, and I hadn't played that specific haunt before, but I had played ones that are kind of similar. So when I was reading, I was like, oh, I think this is exactly what's going to happen. And I didn't know for sure, but I was like, I'm pretty sure it's going to be like this because of like previous experience. And then sure enough, it was like just like that. It was just like a little bit, slightly different, but like pretty close to like that previous experience. So like before you did that, I was like telling Deidre, I was like, don't worry, we got this. I know what this means. I know what this means.
Man.
Or like, I think I know what this means.
Yeah,
You know?
he went down every single path you could go.
Dang.
Yeah,
on,
but
what
that's
would
just because I've
happen.
played so much of it.
Yeah, we schemed. We're like, okay, if this happens, you do this. If this happens, together we do this. If this, you could do this, you could do this. Either way could work.
Okay.
So yeah, we kind of had it all planned out.
I like had my game face on, poker face,
which was like pretty
everything.
unfortunate for you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. But
I think I died like the first turn Zach had. He just stabbed me with the spear, and then I just had to sit
that was a
and
game
watch you
that I
guys
got
win.
really lucky with, like getting stats and getting items and stuff. And then you got pretty unlucky, and because we were near each other when it was triggered, I was like, oh, I'll just go kill him. Like it was just like an easy,
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it was just an unlucky thing. Like I think in that exact game, if I was the traitor, it would have been really scary just because I got lucky. But also, like if you had gotten the stuff that I got, would have been really
Yeah.
scary. Like it really just came down to getting lucky or not.
Yeah, it's usually luck of the draw and like how you build out the house in the beginning.
Yeah.
Like your
True,
square
yeah,
or
that
something.
definitely plays a huge part into it. And so, Zachary, what about you?
My favorite is Trader.
Oh, really?
I love it.
Lito scoots away.
I love any game that allows me, like, kind of like you said, like I get like extra powers or something else that I have to do, or like some other like enemies to control or something. And I also love any game that gives me like a little bit of creative like leeway. Like I like being able to mess with people's heads, if that makes sense. So like in a game where I'm like on an enemy team, but I can pretend to be on your team, or stuff like that, or like not fully divulge like how much like this means or stuff like that, So I don't know. I like that kind of stuff in games. So I prefer Trader, but I will say I agree with you. I feel like more often than not, it's a little bit easier to be on the hero team. I think it again comes down to luck, because I've had some when I'm the trader and it's like based on like what items you got before and what the actual haunt is, it's like super overpowered and super easy for the trader. And I've had some that are the exact opposite. So like I don't think you're never gonna know beforehand, but just overall I prefer being trader.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Also, so both of you finished your drinks.
Yes, I finished mine first.
Yeah, grab an
So,
omen. Or you grabbed an omen.
okay. Sorry, there's a lot of text on this one. Dog. Companion.
Mangy.
Mangy dog seems friendly. At least you hope it is. Bum.
Bam, bam, bam.
Okay. Lita, you want to grab your omen card?
Oh, we get one whenever we finish?
Anytime you finish a drink, we're going to grab one.
Okay.
Well, you'll see.
Oh, okay. So this goes pretty well with dog. I got
Okay.
bite. A growl, the scent of death, pain, darkness, gone.
Okay.
Can I bite someone?
Do you think my
No.
my dog bit something?
You got the dog and the dog bit him.
Oh
There you
my
go.
gosh, it's always me. Just because I eat them?
DJ, you want to grab the next event card? Oh my god.
You didn't hear that.
And
All right.
I'll wait till you.
Next
yeah,
event,
I
and
got
then is this gonna trigger the next drink?
once I finish my drink, it will finish. Yeah.
Okay, I will read.
I wanted to
All
get
right.
one more event in at
Yes.
least.
All right. Bloody vision. The walls of this room are damp with blood. The blood drips from the ceiling, down the walls, over the furniture, and onto your shoes. In a blink, it's gone. 9.
9. What are your favorite haunts or just memorable haunts that you've had? Also, Deidre, -1 mental. So that's either sanity or knowledge.
Sucker. Did you get forgetting a dog?
So favorite or memorable haunts that you've been a part of. And I guess you kind of mentioned one.
Yeah, and I'll let you guys go first because I can talk about mine in a bit. But
Okay. Is it different from the one you said before?
no, and it's one of them. I mean, one.
No,
of
but
them.
like the one we were just talking about of like
No.
Lito's setting stuff. Okay. Go ahead.
Oh, me?
I got one. I'm sorry, I thought
Okay.
you had one. I can go if you don't.
Do you want me to like go in depth in the haunt
However
and like
in-depth you
spoil
want.
it?
It's up to you.
Okay. So I also had the Legacy Edition, which unfortunately is really hard to find in print anymore. But
Quick side note, I believe they're currently not making it, but I don't know for sure. This is just kind of like a gut feeling I have. I'm assuming they're making a second edition.
oh, that would be awesome.
Again, I don't know for sure.
Yeah,
I'm just
no, you don't
because
know.
they have multiple editions of this and they're currently not printing more of them. I'm assuming that's what's happening. I don't know for sure. But
It also
That
could
would
have
be
been
awesome.
unlimited time.
That too,
there,
that
so
too.
now you're
That's true.
special.
Yeah.
But
well,
anyways.
it's hard to be special. So for those of you who don't know, a Legacy board game is where you have to play several times, and every time you play this game, something integral about the game changes. Like the map, based on your actions, will just completely shift or change. Like you'll have to rip up and throw away physical cards. It's a wild thing that you can only go through and experience once, but it's a fun time. I guess without spoiling anything, one of the haunts was a witch hunt. And so it was my brother, a close friend, 2 close friends of mine, and my mom and dad. Because, you know, you just play with your family and stab them in the back, as you do.
Oh,
And so we're looking at each other, you know, the eyes squinted, more so because we're Asian.
oh my god.
And we're like, which one of us is the witch? And so my brother comes, it's his turn. He walks past me, or he tries to walk past me. He's like, you know what? I like you. It's okay. I'm just going to walk around and see if I can find any clues about something. But then he reaches my square, and I'm like, I ain't letting no witch past me. And so I start boxing him. And the important part of this story is my little brother picked the little girl, as I warned you about before.
wait. Do you remember which one or?
The
Just
Legacy
the
has
little
different
girl?
characters.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
slightly
okay.
different. There's a whole thing to that, but I won't go into
Okay.
it. And so I had a weapon, and he was just a little girl with his bare fists, and he bludgeoned me to death. So immediately I had no chance. I was dead. And that was very important to the later story, more times we played the game. But then he proceeds to, with his bare fists, beat up both my mom, my friends, my
Oh my
dad,
God.
murder all of us in cold blood with bare fists as a little girl. And they had guns. They had like swords and maces. And he just bare-fisted,
Dang.
took them all out. Come to find out, at the end of the trial, there was no witch. It was just a demon trying to get us to kill everyone. And it succeeded in a little
oh my
girl.
god.
So, That's why you be careful, little girls. You never know what's gonna come up.
So that's
That's
the
awesome.
reason why.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that's cool.
Okay.
All right, so my most memorable one, I don't want to say favorite, but you'll see why. I was the trader, and there's this haunt that happens where the trader gets to control a dragon. And it's like the coolest thing, and like the powers are like really, really powerful. But
Yo, why do I be this little nerdy cult guy and you get a dragon?
hold on. There are 3 items in the game that like do massive differences between like the battles between the dragon and the people. One of them is the spear can do extra damage to the dragon. There were 2 others, and I can't remember what they were, but one of them gives you extra protection from the dragon, and one of them did something else that I don't remember. But the dragon's health was based on how many people are currently playing the game. You can have up to 6. We only had 3. So I had the wimpiest fucking dragon.
There's Mushu from Mulan.
Oh my god. And then the item, the spear and whatever item gave you like the resistance to the dragon were both on one person. And they just walked up and boom, killed the dragon in like one turn. I was like, all right, well that's the game. It was really memorable because I was like so hyped about this really cool fucking dragon. Like, yeah, I'm gonna destroy these fuckers. And then I get in and I was like, oh, I'm dead.
That's how I feel when an ox bellows walks up to me and just beats me to a pulp.
Yeah, so more just I had the same experience in a different haunt and everything. But yeah,
So you never know. It can happen anywhere.
Yeah, but it was so wasted in my mind. I'm just like, so much good potential. I have a cool giant dragon fly around and yeah. Mm-hmm. Anyways, what was yours?
Anyway, so I mean, we talked a lot about like with the 3 of us playing and how Lido was the haunt, and we're like, we can
I feel like you got some misgivings or hatred of me.
No.
Do we need therapy? Do we have to talk this out?
We'll settle it in the courts.
But so like we had that all planned out of like this or this. So like that's like, oh cool, we won, yay. Like there was like we knew everything that could happen. And then with the other haunt that I've done, that was like interesting because I don't think you guys have ever done that one, like against the house.
I had done a different one like that, but not that one.
Okay, and so that one, like going into it, I was like, oh, what's this gonna be like? But then I think we had that pretty planned out also.
I think we worked really well
up
as a team. I think we did a really good job during that. I think we were like fairly well prepared, but we also just handled it very, very well. True. Like I think we just did a really good job of communicating during that.
Yeah, so I don't know. That just it seemed more interesting than like some of the other stories. I mean, like both of you just had 2 completely different stories about other haunts, and like I don't know. That's like a cool part about the game is like you can have so many different variables that change how each experience is. So yeah, it was interesting to get to see that on like my second time playing as.
Yeah.
You're against the house. Cool. Okay.
You get to see it really early.
Yeah, those are kind of rare. So you were lucky to get like one normal and one of that, so you get both sides of the coin.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I don't know how many there are, but I know it's not many.
It's not that many. Yeah. So yeah.
All right. So I finished my drink, so I'm gonna draw the omen and read what mine is. But then also, we should talk about the drink and what you guys think of it and stuff like that too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we might be running a little long here.
Hell yeah! I drew the spear, which is one of my favorites because
Dragon.
It's a weapon pulsing with power, is what it says. So anyway, what do you guys think of the drink?
Honestly, I really liked mine. Like,
okay,
I didn't get to taste yours, but nothing was like bad about it.
Speak for yourself.
Okay. No. I mean, personally, like I don't know what it was, but I would drink a decent amount of it. Yeah. I don't really know. Like I said, it tasted like seasonal time at Michael's with like the cinnamony, spicy, like kind of
interesting
stuff.
So when you say that, does it also taste like how gratingly annoying the constant seasonal music is in those stores? If you were to work there?
No. Okay. It does not. No, that was awful.
Okay.
Hearing the same 6 songs like basically on
over
repeat.
and over. Sure.
Yeah, no, that sucked. But no, it's just I don't know, something about seasonal time though too. It just kind of like it made you feel like a little bit excited, but also stressful at the same time. Where the drink only pulled out like the kind of like happy, this is fun kind of. I don't know.
As alcohol does.
Well, and
True.
you had
I did
you,
have something
you had
different. I
weathered
was
the storm.
only one different.
You had weathered the storm.
Yes,
So yours
I
wasn't.
made through.
So, what did you think of ours, Lita?
I am not a beer guy. Putting that down here. I usually only drink like German beers, but this one was good. It was like light. It was fruity. It had that like hint of stout, for lack of other words to describe it. It was interesting.
So, there is beer in ours, not in
assume.
Deidre's.
Yeah, that makes
But
sense.
Okay.
well, actually, sorry, I lied. There's 2 beers in ours, one in Deidre's.
Oh,
There's a
yeah,
ginger
I
beer
can see-
in all
yeah.
3
That's
of ours.
why I liked it. I love ginger beer.
Yes.
Okay.
We didn't weather the storm, so it got much more.
Fruity tooty
Like-
up the booty.
Yes, yep. We had like all this just torrential rainfall that came down and lightning striking everywhere, and so what you were sensing as a more holiday spice was Captain Morgan, which has cinnamon in it.
Yeah, okay.
So
that makes
and
sense.
that's in all 3 of ours.
Okay.
Deidre had weathered a dark, stormy night.
Cloudy.
Some people
Cloudy.
might know a drink called a dark and stormy.
No.
No, okay.
No.
A dark and stormy is it's dark rum with ginger beer and some bitters.
Ooh.
Okay.
That's what Deidre had.
Okay.
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 We had weird amalgamation. Is that how you pronounce that word? Amalgamation.
We're American here.
Essentially, what we had was a dark and stormy mixed with a Boilermaker. Boilermaker is when you take a beer and you throw a shot of whiskey in it.
Ooh.
We did it with rum. So we just had the dark and stormy, but I added, instead of ginger beer, it was half ginger beer and half beer. And it was an
Okay.
amber beer.
Not bad. Not
Specifically, if anyone's curious, it's Northwoods Amber from Line and Kugels.
bad. Nani?
Represent Triple Falls.
Yeah, heck yeah.
Sponsor, please.
But anyway, so yeah, so I will say, like, I tried to not describe, what is the word I'm looking for? Design. I tried to design this drink to not be too bad in like the quote bad version. It's more just like you had a lighter storm and we had a darker storm, right? But it's
Okay.
going to get worse from here.
So, question though, because I know like we had been like talking about the planning of this. Was this drink either mine or yours, or was there a different option? Like, because I know I rolled a 2, both of you
Oh.
rolled like a 1
Yes,
and a
so
0.
Yeah, we all rolled through the 3 only choices we
yeah,
had.
but well, because we
So-
could have gotten a 3 or a 4.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So
that's true.
if it would have been higher,
Yeah, for this one, I'll let you know there were only 2 options. So,
Okay.
Okay,
Deidre, you
okay.
barely made it.
Huh.
Excuse me. You had the good version, and we had the quote bad version. But I mean, honestly, I like the drink both ways. But they're just different drinks. But yeah. So yours
Okay.
was just a lighter storm, and ours was a darker storm.
and now what do we do?
Now,
Let's explore another room in the
Well-
house.
see, we've been getting into it a bit, right? We've talked a lot about past experiences we've had, getting pretty deep into this house.
Yeah,
Little girls are scary, yeah.
is the hot
But-
starting?
As anyone that has seen Fellowship of the Ring knows, you don't want to delve too deep into the mines of Moria. Deep in the bowels of the mansion, something stirs. A writhing mass of flesh, blood, and tentacles emerges before you. The unspeakable horror is too much to bear. Roll 2 dice.
I don't know. It could be kinky depending on what you're into.
Velcos.
Okay, you know.
God, all right.
Gonna out me like that?
Oh, darn.
Okay,
Oh, darn.
2.
You got a 2? Remember that.
Oh, all right. Come on, Peter. Fly like the eagle you are. 2 also.
Oh,
Is that good or bad?
Come on, not 2.
Out of 4?
Give
wait,
me a
just
not
give you
2.
something different. Oh
Wait,
no!
Give me a
no,
not
no.
2.
No.
Oh, I got a,
How do you
I
keep
got a
getting
0.
zeros?
All right. So none of us were able to escape.
Okay.
Felkas, please.
Leto and Deidre. Your brain feels like it's melting. You tear yourself away, but you won't be able to forget these images.
Okay.
-1 sanity each,
Ah, shoot.
and take 1 die of mental damage.
What? I already took one of mine.
Yeah, but you got a 0.
No, you got the 0. I got a 2.
We both got 0s on the mental damage. On the roll.
Oh, a die. I thought I was just taking the...
No. You
Okay,
take
ready?
1 for sure,
Ready?
and then you might get 0. You
2,
might get...
1.
Deidre got a 2 and Leto got a 0.
Peter
Oh,
flies like the soaring
Jesus.
eagle he is.
Oh God.
You want to hear what happens to me?
Please, I want you to suffer.
You begin to lose all sense of reality. Unable to move, a tentacle slams into your chest and throws you across the room. -2 sanity. Take 1 die of mental damage. Take 1 die of physical damage.
Sounds like a typical Friday night.
Yeah. So do your
-1,
initial
-1.
first. Here's
And
1.
now this will be for sanity or for mental. 0. Thank God.
He's a hacker.
This
Look at
will
him, he's
be for
hacking.
physical.
Fake news?
1.
Okay.
So 1
okay.
physical.
I'm
Okay,
the
at
only
least
one who
that's on
comes
your
out
other
unscathed.
side. But
Yeah.
Oofda.
Okay, so another quick pause here. I'm going to go make the next drink. See you back in a second.
Bye, Felicia.
And that is the end of part 1. But never fear, as a special treat, I will be releasing part 2 next week instead of 2 weeks out. A huge thank you to Deidre and Leto for guesting on this episode. I know I had a ton of fun discussing one of our favorite board games, and I really hope that both of you did as well. As always, thank you to Sol and Michaela for creating the intro music and cover art respectively. Sol can be found on Instagram at A Guitar in Love, and Michaela can be found on Instagram at MakerMick. A big thanks to each of you for supporting the show. Remember to follow for more, as well as sharing the show with friends and family that you think would like it. For all the recipes to the drinks, as well as updates on the show, be sure to check out my Instagram at It's Dangerous to Go Alone Drink This. And if you have any suggestions for the show or just want to chat, I'm also available via email at itsdangeroustogolonedrinkthis@gmail.com. To support the show monetarily, head to Ko-Fi at ko-fi.com/itsdangeroustogolonedrinkthis. Thank you again, everyone, and remember, it's dangerous to explore creepy mansions alone. So why don't you drink this?